I've been seeing a lot of conversation regarding ego circling the void lately, and I just want to weigh in with my 2 cents about this because I think we get it really twisted. And I just want to interrupt your scrolling with a fresh perspective. A lot of the time we condemn and totally shit on the concept of ego as this horrible, innately wrong thing that we cannot have and should not permit. But I want to invite you to really reconsider the concept of ego as something less about greed or vanity and desire and more about wound. Because from my own experience, intention is everything. And when we come from a place of ego, it's not to say that it's narcissistic and evil and corrupt. It's actually a place of wound. And so instead of reaching from a place of inspiration, of worth, of reverence, right? A place where we are just truthfully in our right, in our energy, and in our own expression of truth. When we're coming from a place of wound, of fear, of control, that's ego. So while everyone's telling you not to have this thing and to get rid of this thing, I think it's more important to understand this thing. Not for being this wicked, evil thing to separate yourself from, because you're never really going to be able to do that, no matter how aligned you are. But I think it's more or less an invitation to see this as ego as the place that we're coming from. And it's deeply anchored and derived in wound. Reaching for comfort, control, safety, assurance, because we're afraid, because we've been hurt, because we've been wounded. And understanding it in this way is so much more healing and so much more enlightening. It really does kind of lift the weight of this concept that you might be struggling to admit or separate yourself from. And I think it's really just about embracing and understanding. So while everyone's telling you not to have an ego, I don't know if any of us ever reach the point where we don't have one. I think it's a part of us that we have to learn how to understand. But hopefully this changes your perspective a little bit and kind of cuts through the noise and the echo chamber of all of this do's and don'ts and shoulds and should nots when it comes to energy and mindfulness. So that's my 2 cents. Do what you will with that. Next time you ask yourself, is this ego? Try to identify whether or not it's coming from wound, and you'll have your answer.